Well, the Indiana Pacers and Capital Improvement Board recently reached a deal to keep the Pacers and Fever in town for the long term. Governor Holcomb signs a hate crimes bill, and there were more retail closures in the U.S. through the first week of April, year to date this year, than all of last year. Amazing statistic there. We have a lot to talk about in the world of economic development in Indiana, and for insight on these topics and more, let's turn to national site selection firm KSM Location Advisors CEO Tim Cook and President Katie Culpin. Welcome back.
Thanks, Gary.
As always, we begin with the Pacers deal. I call it the Pacers deal, but the Fever are involved, and it involves major renovations to Bankers Life Fieldhouse. A big number, talk of in total over 25 years, including operation, $800 million. At the end of the day, your take on this, on getting this deal done?
Oh, I think it's great. I mean, this is part and parcel of our reputation and our economy. And can you imagine what would happen if we didn't continually reinvest?
Mm-hmm. There's some who make the argument, is the investment, is there a return on investment? And from a dollars and cents standpoint, but then there's also, in addition to that, there is that quality of life, quality of place, the image as a professional city that has some economic impact as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacer deal, it's not a jobs deal. It's about what does this give to the broader community. I know with this project, they're talking about some amenities within that area that could potentially have some impact, not just around that immediate area, but as you get to the east side. So to Katie's point, though, you can't lose the Pacers.
Yep. As you look at challenges facing cities like Indianapolis, but others around the country, I mentioned that statistic through the first week of April, year to date, this year, 2019, more retail closures in the U.S. than all of last year. That's an amazing statistic.
Yeah, the times they are changing, I mean, and these are really difficult problems for cities and states everywhere to grapple with because these are big spaces, and how do you redevelop that with people working remotely? I mean, it's not an easy backfill with office. The city's doing some cool things to try to address it.
Yeah, I think if you look at what Mayor Hogsett and his administration have done, they've made Castleton a priority, Lafayette Square. They're doing the right things because the reality is different now. Retail is not where it was even 5 years ago. It's going to continue to change, and we've got to be proactive on it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch that evolve in the coming months and years. Governor Holcomb has signed a hate crimes bill going into this session of the legislature. That was expected to be a hot button issue. It was. The bill was signed. Republican supporters of the bill claim victory. Others don't go quite as far, don't think it went far enough to really make a statement.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's a bit of a hollow victory. We have such a thriving business climate that it's so unfortunate to have this legacy of perceived intolerance following us around.
Yeah, and Governor Holcomb deserves a lot of credit. I don't think anything gets passed if he doesn't take that leadership role.
Yes.
But to Katie's point, it was a missed opportunity. If you look at, let's say I'm a CEO of a company in Austin, I'm looking in Indianapolis, I might have preconceived notions about what this culture is. What I saw the last 3 months, it probably doesn't change my viewpoint. We've really got to change some of these cultural cues that we're sending to companies. Getting off a list is fine, but it's a bigger problem than that.
Another big issue in the state, obviously, is workforce development and getting that trained workforce. The bill making its way through the State House has really been beefed up with funding at the state level.
Yeah, so, and again, this is a credit to Governor Holcomb. Next level jobs, this has been an issue he's passionate about and has worked hard towards. They've doubled the funding for that program, which is great news. The legislature seems to be very focused on workforce development now, and real focused on certifications and that type of thing, which is good. But some of the programs like the IEDC's Skills Enhancement Fund have been under attack.
Yeah, you've got to remove some of those constraints so that companies can use the money and they're not just trying to go through some bureaucratic maze to get access to those funds.
How, Tim, when you look at workforce training and these, it's such a big issue, but from an economic development standpoint, put it in perspective how important having these training programs and venues and avenues in place, how important it is.
They're critical, and it goes across every industry. We have it with our tech clients, we have it with our industrial clients. Any industry that's trying to fill a void, whether it's locally trying to find those people or trying to import talent, they have some programs that are working very very effectively, but we've got to make sure we don't disable what makes them so effective.
That'll be an issue we'll be talking about for a long time. Katie Culp and Tim Cook, thanks for some great perspective on some of the top issues in the state.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
And I'll be right back after this. Stay with us.